Welcome to the series where I 100% every Roblox game on a brand new account. And today I'm doing doors. And let's just say that it's not going to be easy, with some badges having a 0.0% chance of getting. After immediately joining, I already got my first badge. And to get the next badge, I had to join the group. When I joined the game, I got it. Now it was time for my first run. If you've ever played the game before, this run will be pretty standard gameplay, because I'm getting the easier badges first, and save the hardest badges for last. Whenever the lights flicker, that means rush is coming, and I have to hide to get another badge. Immediately after, Screech came and gave me the next badge. After a little bit later, I found Eyes and quickly escaped to get the next badge. And a couple doors later, it was time for the Seek chase. Now that I have some of the entity badges done, I think it's a good time to explain the crucifix. You see, every entity in the game has a assigned badge that you get when surviving them. But instead, if you use a crucifix, you can get an alternate badge, which means that every entity has two badges. With that explained, let's continue this first run. This next badge is in the library at door 50, and by collecting 8 different books and a piece of paper, using the numbers from the books, and matching the shapes to find the order of the numbers, gives the code to open the door. And this also gives the next badge. Then I went to the shop and bought 2 key items, the skeleton key and the crucifix, which also gave me the next badge. The next one is gotten by tipping Jeff. Indoors, there's a chance for 2 doors to spawn, and behind one of them is Duke, and this is another badge. On room 64, I got an entity called Halt, and every time this happens to your screen, you have to turn around and keep repeating that process until you get to the door. In the hospital room, there is a door to use the skeleton key on, and this gives the next badge. Along with the badge, it also heals your health over time. After the second Seek chase, I was at door 80, and while looting I got the next badge. And in the literal next room this happened. Ambush has a unique mechanic. Like Rush, it moves through the room, but instead, it goes back and forth multiple times. And after surviving, I got the next badge. And after making it to door 100, this was a good opportunity to get some badges. I started the figure hunt, and I would need to collect 10 switches to beat the game. With all 10 switches I was ready to beat the game, but not before I get another badge by putting something in the rift. The next badge, I have to do this puzzle in under a minute. Since I haven't used the crucifix yet, I might as well use it on figure. That gives me 2 badges, added onto the one I get by beating the game. The next day I joined to get another badge. I then joined a game with people this time, hoping to get some badges that require people. The first one I have to stay back and wait for the others to advance, so this can happen. I got the next badge right away by staying in a cabinet for too long. At door 53, I died and revived to get to more badges. Since I didn't have enough lockpicks to go to the rooms, I decided to just die, since there were no badges I could get anymore, and I would eventually need to die 100 times anyways to get a badge. The next badge, I have to survive rush, but I can't hide in a cabinet. I then bought a crucifix, and I was looking for ambush or halt, since they were the rarest entities, and I managed to find halt and got the job done. With only 3 runs, I already had over half the badges, but the worst has yet to come, so I knew I had to keep going if I wanted to finish this challenge. So I used the crucifix on rush. The next badge, I will kinda cheese it. You see, by repeatedly going into a cabinet, Jack has a chance of spawning, and eventually after a while, I got it. I then tried to get the not 5 stars badge, but I ended up dying. However, I got a badge, because I added someone earlier. The next badge I did was the back on track badge. With 2 lockpicks and a skeleton key, you can open this door and go to the rooms. In here there are 3 different entities, a 90 being the worst. Every time a 90 comes you have to completely stop, or else you get damaged. But a 60 and a 1 to a work like rush. But after a little I found the exit and got the badge, along with the one you get by entering the rooms. The next 2 badges are in the back door. The first you get by just joining it, the other badge you get by escaping the back door. Let me explain how it works. The idea is simple. There are levers that give you time. Simple enough, right? No, there are also entities. And these factors made probably the most intense run I've ever played. Just see it yourself. And with that, I got the next badge. The next badge is called a 1000, And it's basically the same thing as Back on Track, but instead of going to room 200, you have to go all the way to room 1000, and for some reason it gave me a room early, but I grabbed the tablet and brought it back to put in the rift, but it was way closer than I wanted. The first part I didn't find Screech and took some damage, but that was just the start. I couldn't find Screech again in the greenhouse, and that brought me down very low. And as I was panicking, I ran into a snare, which brought me down to 1 HP, which means one mistake could make me lose the tablet, but I managed to still clutch up and secure it, and another badge. I also need to mention that I got a badge, but I couldn't find a recording of it, so you just have to trust me. I then went for more crucifix badges. I then tried not 5 stars. Using these modifiers, nothing really happened, but I managed to get it, not that difficultly, so feel free to use the same modifiers. The next badge is done in the backdoor, where like the void badge, you have to stay back. The next badge is arguably the hardest badge to get, because you have to win with 150% modifier. At first, I only joined for fun, and had no intent of winning. Everyone died right away, so I decided to die so everyone could play again, and we got ambushed 5 times in one run. But I would be lying if I said it was hard to get the badge. I'm not even trying to flex or anything, but that was pretty much my first try. If you don't count the one where I died on purpose. I don't know if it was the modifier, but anyways I got the badge. I was going to do a big build up for getting this badge, but I just got it right away. I went back to the lobby and found this. I also didn't record this badge, so this is basically how it went. The next badge, I have to steal someone's closet right before they die. With only 2 badges left, I decided to go for Unbound by using a crucifix on ambush. For this final badge I have to die 100 times, and by going into the back door, you can actually die really quickly, and using that method I got to 99 deaths, and for the final death, I decided to play a normal game.